And hello to all my Leo friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for January 2022. Can you believe it? January is here. That went quick. Now, today they've dialed up for you a very specific spread. It is a health spread. They want to talk about spiritual health, perhaps also physical health. We're going to talk about all of it in the storyline format. So this casts a very wide net across all the different Leos. It tells a bunch of different stories, and that allows me to be very accurate because we're looking at a bunch of different readings kind of all in one. And the whole idea is to find the story that is right for you. There may be multiple stories that resonate with you. I've had people give me that feedback, and that's certainly okay if it does, but I'd say it's more rare. It's more about finding really the one or even sometimes two stories that really mean something deeply to you. So we're going to get into that. They asked that I conclude your reading with, guess what? A health scrub. So they are super they want you very, very aware of what's going on with your health here to start the year. Just from an awareness point of view, it's like health on top of health. It's like, what's going on? Let's find out what's so important there. So I'm excited to see there. And after that is all over, the next video that's going to autoplay is called Quadrants. I would suggest sticking around for that because that is going to forecast Leo's entire year. And this is the only time that I do such a spread. So definitely check that out. Now let's get started. Cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. I'm going to bring you in right here so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button and build up the energy in here. And if you are ready to have a great 2022, let's go. We are rolling, I think. Yep. Okay. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. I do that live and on camera. It cuts the deck into 3 different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order, and then they're ready to go. Do that with both of the decks here. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Very important. Then we're ready to go with the storyline for health for Leo. January. This spread starts with 5 cards, and I expand it out as I need to from there. You're going to need more cards than this. I'm going to scooch them over a little bit. There we go. And how far will it go? I'm going to keep going. I ran out of space there, so I'm coming down here. That's my end. Just pretend this is at the end there. It's basically to make one linear line. Now I need to figure out who goes to what. These 3 are going to be one story. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inverts out of 8. That is going to require a discard. So I'm going to give them the opportunity to upright all this. And they do. They actually want it uprighted. So I'm actually going to put that back for just a moment while I fix that, because that may change my groupings. So everything by force, by their direction, is going to be uprighted here for Leo. The way that that works is, they say 60%. They automatically upright, so most readers would just do what I just did automatically. I don't like to do that. I like to give them the option to say, well, we would actually like it read partially blocked or most of the way blocked. In this case, they said upright everything. That's what we did. So now I'm looking at the groupings again to see if that changed anything. And it did, because this story just grew. So now the story's a little bit bigger. We are looking at 3 stories. It's going to be set up like this. I need more cards. That's what we're going to deal with right now. Let's see. Here we go. 1 here. That's good. 2 here. I'll move this to get it on camera better in just a minute. Make sure you can see everything that's going on. I know some of you are curious to look at the cards. Look at the pictures, at least. That's actually ready. They gave me a lot of pip cards, which gives a lot of information. These themes may be a little smaller. That's what happens without major arcana cards, but the small little pips tell very, very descriptive stories. Are we all in view? I think so, or close to it. Very, very close. Now I just need an Oracle Angel card for every story. I think you can see that one, No Place Like Home. Can't really see the picture, but you can see the words. Over here, tick-tock. Timing. Timing is huge there. And story, the last story here is regeneration. Okay, let's zoom out and get to work, because we also have to do the health scrub at the end of this, and that is going to give us some location of pinpointing location, where here we're kind of telling a description of what's going on, and then at the end there we're going to get very specific with it. So here we go. Make some room for myself. I'm going to start with the big story. the very, very descriptive health story. Move it around a little bit so I can see it more clearly. Okay, we begin with, this is a health thing between two people or two entities. It's two things working together here. This could even be medicinal. They're letting me know for people that have two medicines that are working together here. This could also be doing something in your health corner with somebody else. I don't really know. It's what the card means is a union between two things, two entities, two things working together here. So that's where we start. So let's see if you can attach to what comes next. They show that you're rushing into this coupling of this two. To get out of the cold, to be a little warm, to be more welcomed, perhaps, let me see, temperature. This could be blood pressure related. This could be fever related. I'm not really sure exactly what they're talking about symptoms here, but I have the abandonment kind of left out in the cold card, that we have an action moving away from, going toward these two things or these two entities. Could even be people. I feel like it's less about that. We're probably more kind of where I began the reading. I kind of blacked out there a little bit. I don't know if you picked that up, but kind of when I start talking, usually I flow, and then sometimes once in a while I get stopped, and that is when basically what's going on there is in my head, I get blacked out is what I call it, because that's literally what happens. It's like my train of thought just gets stopped, and I believe that's from spirit. And they're basically, the reason they do that is basically because I already gave the definition they wanted. So they're like, okay, stop now. You're good. Go to the next. So that's what we do. Next, they show here that there is really good connection here between spirit world and health world. So the chakras here are probably kicking very well. We're not doing the chakra scrub, but sometimes that will pop up in the health scrub at the very end. So we will check that out. Just also throwing it out there, just because this is a secondary definition of the card, I don't want to make this completely about health. This could also be a very good time for big purchases. Very large, fun purchases come up here. Let's see what else. We have very injury prone. Okay, well, now we're back to health. Very, very important to remember that here in story number 1, if you're attaching to what I talked about, the 2, and rushing toward the 2 with whatever that is that you're rushing to get away from, there's some kind of that, whatever you feel warm toward. That's really the way that they're describing it toward me. Something that means something to you. You're rushing toward. There's injury proneness going on here. So you could definitely get hurt. And I don't mean like your feelings hurt, and I don't mean, pain like losing somebody. I mean actually like physical hurt. This is like, breaking an arm. This is stubbing your toe. Things like that. And when injury prone comes up in health, it could be high level where, you really get hurt bad, like a car accident. Or it could also be very low level, like I mentioned, stubbing your toe or sleeping awkwardly, and now you got a kink in your neck, all this kind of stuff. So story number 1, at the very least, the good advice for Leo would be to be a little cautious this month in general, because injury prone comes up for story 1. It's the biggest story. So this could also scatter out a little bit into these other stories. So I'd rather you just try to avoid this and be a little safe. Be a little more cautious than usual. Watch where you're walking, stuff like that. We have regeneration here, so this is like a brand new beginning of some form that can happen. It's making me feel more like you really kind of purging something out here. It's kind of like through the death card. The death card and regeneration for me are very similar, and I have regeneration here in the Oracle Angel card. So it doesn't mean any kind of actual death. It's more about the cellular level, like change of brand new, where there's nothing remnant from the old. So it's almost like a complete clean slate here. Whatever you're running away from, even if it's a habit, they didn't come out and say that, but I just did. Whatever it is that you're turning away from and moving forward with the 2, even if it's doing something with somebody else, an exercise program perhaps, or quitting something with somebody else together, that is letting you know that this needs to be 100%. This cannot be 99%. It won't work. If it's something that you say, well, I'll just do it most of the time, I'll get this out most of the time, but once in a while, it's not going to work. That's what they're saying. So there we go, story number 1. Story number 2, taking great authority here. You are completely the boss of this situation, this health situation here. In story number 2, it's the God card. It's the Emperor. And in tarot, this is the supreme boss. I like to call it boss just because that is very encompassing. It shows kind of the whole energy of what's going on here. We have, perhaps some of you have neglected some area of your health. Let me see if they're saying physical health here. So something physical has been neglected here. And I don't want to say that you just don't care about it, but it definitely needs more attention here. That's what they're kind of saying. And, some of you for sure just kind of have super neglected this. You just kind of like, F it. I don't care. I don't give a crap about it, whatever. They're saying here you really got to take authority over this. This is something that can't continue. The timing is huge here. This is where I had the TikTok. So they're letting you know that the timing is big here for January. With this, we have health action right next to it. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Literally, pentacles mean two things in tarot. It either means coin or it means health. And we're doing a health spread, so what do you think it means? Basically, health action is going on here. So they're basically saying that this is your window. This is your perfect opportunity to take this action. And what that action is, you're going to have to get the context of that. I don't know each of you Leos individually and personally, unfortunately. You guys are great people. But you do. You know yourself quite well. So whatever this action is, you should have a pretty good idea of which way they're trying to push you with this. And I would really like to see you do it in January because it's a January reading and because this window is really good to do that. Now let's talk about the moon cycles because that plays direct role here. The moon cycles, best time to bring anything new into your life is the new moon. That happens on January 2nd. So let's say this is taking an action to start something new like a diet. If it's something brand new into your life, it's better placed at the beginning of the month under that new moon. Let's say it's something that needs to get out of your life. Let's say like quitting drinking. If you're going to do that, you try to do it at the beginning of the month, it's not going to work as well. It could still be done, but it's going to take a lot of willpower to do so. If you want a little help from the universe, getting something out of your life, better placed under the full moon energy. That happens on January 17th. It doesn't have to be on the 17th. Anywhere in the middle of the month, perfect time to get anything out of your life. Let's expand this out a little bit. Doesn't even have to be health. Let's say you got to get people out of your life. Let's say you got to get emotional baggage or stuff, habits. Let's say you got to clean out a garage. Any kind of removal energy, much better placed middle of the month. If you're adding something new into your life or trying to attract anything new, let's expand that out too. Love, trying to bring love into your life. You're trying to get a new job into your life, new work situation. All that is much better placed beginning of the month. So there's your moon cycle forecast. Let's get into story 3. Story 3, Leo, they talk about, there's a lot of different choices here. A lot of you are hanging on to one. Like you feel like there's only one way that you're going to do whatever this is, this health situation is that they're about to describe. No place like home. Home is a big deal here. Some of you are maybe staying at home and not getting out as much as you should be. Or it has something to do with the home. Maybe the home is making you healthy or unhealthy. Maybe you're stuck at home. Maybe... I think I said enough there, probably. They kind of stopped me there again. But going back to the other card, there is you hang on to one idea here, and they want you to expand your thinking. They're basically saying that you have many different ways that you can take this. So this is a health route that has a lot of options. The problem is they think, or they're telling me that you don't think you do. You think that there's only one way you can take this or one treatment option. Let's say you have, I don't even know. I don't know enough medically to kind of give you accurate examples, but let's say you had a disease and there was one pill for it, and you take, this one pill, and you just think that that's what you have to take like forever. They're saying that's not the case. You're holding on to one idea and one path when actually you have multiple paths. It's represented by 7 in this card. It's the 7 of Cups. It doesn't mean you have seven different paths. It could actually be more than that. But what it's saying is you have more than one. So it doesn't have to be that option. And especially if that one pill that you're taking, for example, has side effects and it has some detriment that it brings to your life. Well, there's other choices here. There's other ways you can take this. Now, they really want you to move forward here. I don't know if this is just by yourself or what, but it brings up your love corner. So moving forward with this with your family is very important. Family, friends, people that you love and that are close to your heart. You're moving forward into a brand new area of health. This is very peaceful, and it's completely brand new. It shows that you have to almost kind of like, it has to get worse before it gets better. That's a weird way of putting it, and it's hard to kind of give you an example of what that could be. But that's the energy that they're describing. It has to get a little rougher before this can start healing. Okay, they're kind of throwing an example at me now. It's just like, was playing flag football when I was younger, and a guy broke his leg out there, and it was bad. Like the bone was out. And when the paramedics came to kind of cart him off, they had to set it, and of course that is making it worse to get better, because that is very, very painful. It's, I don't even want to think about it. It gives me the EBGBs just thinking about how that hurts, or how that would hurt. Thank goodness that's never happened to me. So getting worse to get better is the vibe here. So that is just a necessary evil, or a necessary path, or something that has to occur here. So don't get kind of don't lose hope, and don't lose faith just because things might get a little worse for a very short time. Usually it's darkest before the sun rises. That's very much the vibe here. There's story number 3. Now let's get into the health scrub. Health scrub. I'm going to run it just the way it is. I didn't use too many cards. Yeah, we're just going to run it the way it is. So here we go, top to bottom. I may read it differently, but here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. See if I have any majors. I do here. I do here. And that's it. Okay. I want to go over the whole thing with you, so let's try to... I'll try to be as brief as I can. That's a discard. That's got to go away before I get confused. Okay, now I'm seeing it clear. Easy work on the root. That's your arms, your legs. Do easy stuff there. Do stuff that's easy for you. Easy cardio. Light walking, swimming, whatever it is that's considered kind of light exercise here. It's coming in as easy work. You don't need to do anything crazy here. Moving on up. Lower kind of stomach, lower intestinal here. Find something you get interested about. Move away from being bored. Okay, so this is more diet related more than likely. I'm kind of talking myself through this, going with the definition of the cards in the health context. Finding ways to improve your lower digestive health by the way you eat. It reminds me of probiotic stuff. Moving on up above that, higher digestion. Upper stomach area here. Brand new beginning. Clean it up. This is a toxicity thing. Very much some organs could use a little bit of a supercharge here, a little bit of boost. Clean it up a little bit. That could be diet related. It could be supplement related, something like that. Something here needs addressing. They want you to clean this up and get on this new journey. Don't be a fool. If there's something in your upper digestion too, up in your higher stomach, that is plaguing you, definitely get it checked out. Also means that. Moving on up, heart area, blocked death. This is something needs to be cleaned out here in the heart. We have a higher power coming in, basically saying you're guided here. So if you have any kind of heart murmur, heart palpitation, heart dysrhythmia, any of this kind of stuff, just make sure that you're moving forward and you've had it looked at and you're on the right stuff for it. You're being proactive about any kind of heart stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff you can take for your heart. And I don't want to supersede any doctors. So that's why I say, make sure you get it checked out first. But, there's like omega acids that are really good for heart health. Vitamin D, E, and there's a few other ones that aren't popping in my head right now. So anyway, I gave you enough there so you can kind of get the idea. And if you don't have any kind of weird stuff going on with your heart, that's just not for you, So you're good. Moving on up to throat. Throat looks very, very good. No worries there. Celebratory. That's also dental. Usually dental, I think, pops in there instead of higher up here. When we move up into your face, they're showing very, very fast traveling news here. I don't even know how to read that, so I'm going to get another card just to kind of add to it. Anything incomplete. They're saying this can happen quick to anything that has been put off, anything that needs to be done. It feels more procedural to me. So I would really, this is going to be very few people. It could only be one person for all I know. But if there's something that needs to get done and you have like a procedure, let's say like a nasal, they're going to open up like a nasal cavity for you or something like that, like your sinuses or something in your actual head, right? This would probably be better to happen fast in the month of January. If not, it could certainly be that fast traveling news where like, okay, now it's a major problem and now you have to get it done quick. That's kind of the vibe there. When we move up to the very, very top here, basically the top of the head, authority and the pentacle, it's coming in very good, very good control, very good control. So I'm really only worried about the people who have weird things going on with their heart. Definitely get that checked out. And we got some probiotic stuff going on, just kind of recapping the entire thing. And then the upper stomach area, that is what needs to be cleaned up the most. That is the main area that they wanted to talk about. And that's your organs and stuff like that. So super detox would be a really, really good thing for the month of January. So that's going to wrap up the entire spread. I know that was a lot, but I told you health scrubs and health spreads in general are usually very interesting. They're fascinating. So that's going to wrap up the entire thing. I hope that you join me for quadrants. It's the only time of year that I do that. Even in my personal private readings, it's the only time that I extrapolate out and forecast for an entire year. So definitely check those out. That video will autoplay. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. And have a happy new year. I'll see you soon.